So I just found out that there's a new map pool. Abyss is in and Breeze is out. And so we're going to go over the winners and losers that are in playoffs right now, getting ready for the new map pool. We're going to go over Americas and Pacific. First, Americas, we have the 4 playoff teams. That's Loud, 100 Thieves, Energy, and Lev. And now let's start with the losers. The first loser of this map pool change is 100 Thieves. Right now, their first ban, their perma ban, is Lotus. As of now, through the kickoff stage, 100 Thieves have played 6 out of the 7 maps. The only map that they haven't played is Lotus. Given the fact that it is their perma ban, more than likely they just feel uncomfortable with it, and more than likely haven't practiced with it enough to be able to show it. It's their strict perma, and they haven't even floated it for either a second map or the decider, which brings it to a little bit of concerning territory. And since Abyss is in for Breeze, that makes the things a little bit complex, given that 100 Thieves was one of the best Breeze teams, given that they played the solo harbor, and now they don't have it as a choice in the map. They will either have to give up playing Lotus, or they will have to give up and play Abyss. Another loser in this 4-team playoff is Loud. Right now, their permaban is split. Given the fact that they permaban split, they too have to pick their poison. The last time Loud has played Abyss was when they had a whole nother roster with Pancata, Verdi, Kawazine, and now they have a whole new roster, a whole new IGL, a whole new system. And so within the short amount of time, it's hard to imagine that they had the hindsight to be able to prepare for a new map pool like Abyss. And now the winners for Americas. Lev is probably one of the biggest winners out of this map pool change, just because their permaban is Breeze. And so given the fact that those 2 map swaps, it's pretty much one eye for the other, where they can choose to permaban Abyss and they can completely flex their map pool at the moment right now. And if we look at their other maps that they haven't really shown, but they're willing to float, is Ascent and Lotus. We all know one of Lev's best maps is Split and Ascent. Those 2 maps have defined them and have been pretty strong. The only time Lev has lost on Split was against G2 in the grand finals. And we got to keep in mind that Lotus, though they haven't played it, was literally the defining map that they won against Paper Rex in Masters London. Given the fact that Lev has a strong map pool and is withholding a lot of the information regarding the maps that they currently are strong at, such as Ascent, that allows them to basically substitute their permaban as a 1-for-1 for Breeze. And another winner for Americas is Energy. Right now, they have been flexing their map pool, and the only maps that they haven't played is Ascent and Split. Those 2 maps have been maps that they're willing to flex on other teams, meaning that they don't go and initially pick it as their first map, but they're willing to float it and potentially have it as a decider. Most of the time, they are second banning it. Their permaban is Ascent, but they are willing to float Split. The only case where they didn't permaban Ascent was against probably the best Split team, which was Leviathan. In the rare case that Ascent was floated and Leviathan could have picked it, they decided not to. Keeping that in mind and looking through the blinds, that showed that even if Energy were caught off guard, they were willing to play Ascent. So both of their maps, they have shown they have at least allowed it into the map pool. And one thing as well to keep in mind is that Energy is undefeated against America's teams on Abyss. They are one of the best Abyss teams. Also, being willing to have the ability to play it flexes Energy's map pool and allows them to be able to have more power and manipulate a lot of the opponent's map pool. Let's move on to Pacific. The 4 playoff teams are Paper X, Vero, Gen.G, and GE. Now, one of the 4 teams is a loser in this map pool change. Surprisingly, is Paper X. But one thing to know about Paper X is that they don't really like playing Abyss. The only time they have played Abyss this whole year was in the grand finals against Nongshim, where Nongshim eventually won. So not only do they have the strict permaban of Haven, which honestly they look pretty good on, and it doesn't really make sense on why they're banning it. Another de facto of that is that Sunset is one of the maps that Paper X has played, but hasn't won it this year. They've lost to T1 and Vero. And so that raises a lot of big concerns as Paper X go into playoffs. While yes, they don't already need any more wins, that is something that they have to look forward to and continue to work on and strengthen their map pool. As soon as Paper X gets a win on Sunset, then that allows a lot more and less pressure on Paper X, whether they can play Abyss or they stick to Haven as their permaban. Another team that is loser due to the fact of this map pool is Vero. However, they aren't fully that worse off, considering the fact that they have flexed their map pool. They have played 6 out of 7 maps, and right now their permaban is Breeze. However, if you look at Vero's maps throughout the stage, they have lost on Lotus against a DFM. And so again, them losing on Lotus against DFM is an interesting thing to poke, especially as an opposite team where they can see Lotus as, especially as we round out into playoffs where the pressure is more at stake and teams are really particular about the details in the map pool. And so given the fact that Vero hasn't won on Lotus does raise some awareness for when the pressure and the stakes are higher. Well, yes, they have lost and maybe they do feel confident. It's given the fact that they don't have that experience of winning on an official stage. So whether it's the opponent's map pick or it's a decider map, that can bring a lot of issues. And now the winners, believe it or not, is Gen.G. Gen.G is one of the teams that have played 6 out of the 7 maps in the map pool, and their permaban is Breeze. And so perfect, just like Leviathan, where we can hot swap Breeze for Abyss and we don't have to feel the pressure of being able to play it. One caveat is that they do have to make top 2 in order to make it into champs. Given the fact that all they have to do is make it into grand finals where the map veto doesn't matter, then that is good for them. Because worst case scenario, they go into the lower final where they still have the ability to ban a map. That saves them from the pressure of having to evolve their map pool and insert Abyss as something that's playable. And the last winner for Pacific is GE, of course, the last team. GE have been banning Lotus, and they've also haven't played Haven, but they're willing to float it. And given the fact that they have been successful on Haven in their kickoff stage and in stage 1, given the fact that they have been playing it, they've been playing it kickoff, they've been playing it in stage 1, and so it is a map that they do seem comfortable with, but don't feel favorable against their matchups. However, the last time GE played Abyss, they were actually pretty good. They're running the veto, and against Pacific, they're pretty much undefeated. And while you could say, Amor, the meta has changed, like things are different now. The meta on Abyss was a lot different than what the meta is right now. And I'd answer, yes, sort of. The meta has changed, but at the same time, it really hasn't. If you think about it, teams are still playing the Neon Phoenix, which was Valev used to win Masters London, and in this meta right now, we can still play Neon Yoru, which Nongshim used to be able to win Masters Santiago. And so yeah, to highlight the video, a lot of the teams that may struggle in playoffs are the teams that don't really have a strong map pool heading into it. Given the fact that we have a sudden map change, Abyss and Febreze, it is going to shake a lot of things up. I mean, it's going to shake a lot of things up for the teams in Plains too as well. And all that makes for is exciting Valorant, unpredictable Valorant, and Valorant and VCT that I can't not wait to watch. With a good amount of time, these teams can come out and prove me wrong. There's been a lot of time for teams to prepare for maps that maybe they feel weak on, like a team like Viral, a team like PaperX, and in America's a team like 100 Thieves and Loud, where they have the time to be able to adapt, read the opponents that are coming in through the planes, and be able to strengthen their map pool and line out their weaknesses. This is sort of the style that I'm leaning into, is just having to sit down conversational videos where a lot of the things that I think about and want to talk about, things that aren't really highlighted in a lot of the main narratives in VCT. And also I do watch party America's Pacific and a little bit of EMEA. So if you're around, tune into the live, say hi, subscribe.